Thank you for being here this evening. My name is Mekhala Gunaratne, and I am also one of the co-founders of Alliance Against Modern Slavery and Director of Global Projects. Wow, that light is so bright. Before we begin the second half of the concert, I'd like to welcome Paul Lovejoy, who is a board member of Alliance Against Modern Slavery and is also director of the Harriet Tubman Institute, to join me on stage.
Welcome, everybody. On behalf of the Harriet Tubman Institute, we're a research institute here at York that is interested in research on the global migrations of African peoples. But we're also an institute that's very preoccupied with issues related to slavery and the legacy of slavery. And in that capacity, we're very pleased to help sponsor this launch and to support the initiatives of this alliance. I also bring greetings from the UNESCO, the International Scientific Committee of the UNESCO Slave Route Project, on which I also serve. And that UNESCO initiative has been preoccupied with bringing the attention of the world to issues of slavery and its legacy. And that extends to questions of contemporary slavery as well. The recognition that this is an important issue in the world and that it's tied with historical problems of silence and attempting to forget some of the tragedies that human beings have inflicted upon each other. It's very clear that the contemporary issues today have to be addressed, just as we have to address the injustices of the past. Since the Durban Accord in 2002, slavery is now recognized as a crime against humanity. And that means it's always been a crime against humanity, and we have to deal with that criminality. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Paul. Second, I would like to call upon Martin Klein, who is also another board member of Alliance Against Modern Slavery and is Professor Emeritus at the University of Toronto.
I just want to, oh God, these lights are blinding me, I can't see. I just want to follow up on some of the comments made by Glendene Grant and Judith Dueck. I want to suggest that all of you take a look at, as most of you probably do regularly, at the pages to the back of Now Magazine and I Magazine. There are pages and pages of women offering sexual services. And one of my questions, given what I know about trafficking for sexual purposes, is I'd like to know how many of these women are doing this because they find it a congenial way to earn a living, and how many of them are coerced. There are so many different international trades, and Glendene has talked about trade within North America. There is a trade from China, there's a trade from Eastern Europe. 10 years ago, it was possible to buy a Moldovan or Ukrainian woman in Munich for $1,500, to buy her and to do with her anything that you wanted. And why does this exist? Unlike the worlds that I study, slavery is illegal everywhere. It is condemned everywhere. There are women willing to prostitute themselves for money. It's a way of earning a fairly decent living, I am told. Why then do you have to use these mafia techniques? Why do you have to rape? Why do you have to lock women up and force them to service men in unlimited numbers? The question is solely the amount of profit. These are criminal syndicates, criminal groups that can get away with it because society doesn't care enough, and because there's not enough pressure on the police and the law enforcement. BBC has done stories on trafficking for sexual purposes in Britain. There have been stories on sexual trafficking in Tel Aviv, in New York. It is a worldwide phenomenon and exists in almost every large city in the world.